So this is absolutely crazy. This is absolutely crazy. So this is from obviously a situation where these people, not that they don't know anything about the WNBA, that they're not WNBA people. And this is obviously Caitlin Clark, who has been golfing today. She made a long shot. She got a putt from the logo. She made a deep putt from the logo, so. But I don't know, look, it's been a fun day all around. It has been a fun day all around following Caitlin Clark. I do have to say that. But this is one of those things where I'm like, shit, this isn't great, you know. This is not great. It's like even the golf world knows. Let's take a listen.
Given the way those first couple of years have gone on the WNBA, Caitlin may be glad to be playing a non-contact sport here. Given the way those first couple of...
That's mad. Am I the only one who thinks that's mental? That you have now got like non-WNBA or like not even basketball affiliated people being out there saying, given the way those first 2 years went in the WNBA, Caitlin may be glad she's playing a non-contact sport. And they're not wrong. They're absolutely not wrong. Like, Caitlin, no question about it, is going to not have to deal with, isn't going to have to deal with contact here. And let's be honest, it's like, it's not that it's just us that are thinking, oh, like, you know, Caitlin Clark, you know, she doesn't care about that. It's only people that are complaining about the physicality. Man, her family were complaining about the physicality. Her family were complaining about it. That's all I'm going to say is when her family were complaining about it, you know that there's at least people in her corner that are like, this is getting ridiculous. And obviously she as a player can't think like that. Because if she thinks, oh, you know, I'm getting hit unfairly, you don't go out with 100% aggression. But at the same time, like it is what it is. Like we can all say it as a fact that that Caitlin Clark is getting hacked. And I'm guessing the Caitlin Clark haters have shown up in this post. Even the golf industry knows about the dirty plays done to Caitlin Clark. Total strangers know she's been getting the shit beaten out of her for 2 seasons. The whole world knows at this point. WNBA should be embarrassed. They're trying to cater to the players who will leave them for Project B. No one's poking her in the eye or blindsiding her. I'm like, oh, Golf Channel taking shots at the WNBA. I know don't know how the WNBA isn't embarrassed. And the fact is one of those points is actually very funny. That the WNBA is catering their league to a bunch of players who very well may leave their league to go play in Project B. Like, let's be real. Even if Caitlin Clark takes the Project B money, which she might, there's a lot of money there. So even if Caitlin Clark takes the Project B money, Caitlin Clark still will she won't just quit the WNBA. The likes of Alyssa Thomas and Nneka very well could quit the WNBA. They could literally say, look, we've won our, well, not in Alyssa Thomas's case, she'll never win a championship. But in Nneka's case, I've won my championship. I've won my MVP. I'm going to be 37 years old, I think, by the time Project B starts. And let me just play 4 months of a year and make $2 million a year. Let me just play 4 months a year. You know what? I was probably going to retire then, so let me just go and play. If you're Alyssa Thomas, yeah, I'm going to be 35 years old. Let me just chill at 35 years old and make millions of dollars. Play in this tournament and ignore the WNBA. It's like, why would I go and play in the WNBA for hardly any money when I can just chill? And I would not be surprised if we see DeWanna Bonner playing 1 more year of WNBA just so she can take the Project B money. Like, I would not be surprised if we see her play 1 more year for that reason. But it's one of those things where I'm just like, it's just crazy that the league sees all this negative publicity and the league are like, yes, more of that. Oh, the general population thinks that our league is just people beating the shit out of star players. You know what? We need to double down on that. We need to double down on that. if the league doesn't, there was less talk about people in the last year. There was less talk in 2025 about people beating the crap out of Caitlin, even though Caitlin got hit by multiple cheap shots in the same possession and nobody got ejected. She got hit by multiple flagrant twos in the same possession and nobody got ejected. So therefore, you know what? It needs to be worse. The fact is, people aren't complaining more. If they're not out here saying that Caitlin Clark needs to be protected, it means that, you know, Caitlin Clark's getting it too easy. If those new fans aren't complaining and threatening to leave the league, it means that something's gone wrong. Like, something's gone wrong, and, you know, Caitlin's having it too easy of a time. But no, honestly, like I really don't know. I don't know what's going on with the WNBA. Like, Lexi Hull's even talking about the referees, and I still stand by this. Like, Lexi Brown is the weirdest one. If you ever hear the way Lexi Brown's talking, it's like she'll make a really good point, and then we'll just like go back on it. She'll be there like, oh, the physicality, yeah, it's fine when it's towards Caitlin, but, the physicality is bad when it's towards anyone else. Like, she'll essentially say something like that. She'll make a genuinely good point. And it's the same, like, with a lot of WNBA players. And, like, I don't even think a lot of them realize they're making this, but there are so many WNBA players that have made the point of, like, the physicality is bad, but it's fine when the physicality is towards Caitlin Clark. The physicality towards, 156 players, 155 players. Excess physicality towards 155 players is bad. Excess physicality towards Caitlin Clark is good. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like, that is actually, like, something that I don't think players have realized they've said it, but multiple players have maybe not quote said that, but heavily implied that. And it's even times where there's players that I like, that I definitely think are, in general, on the right side of things, but it's been so ingrained that, this whole physical league bullshit that started happening in 2024, where they were allowing literal cheap shots and didn't care. Like, the referees said the Kennedy Carter one was a common foul. I have never seen a more obvious flagrant 2 in my life. And by the way, if the referees called the flagrant 2 on the spot, it wouldn't have been nearly as bad a look on the WNBA. And not only that, they upgraded it to a flagrant 1. And I'm like, first of all, how would you call a common foul on the time, in the game, and then how would you upgrade to a flagrant 1? Like, how did you come up with flagrant 1 with that? And again, the general population is out here looking at the WNBA, and this is what they're thinking of it. But anyway, that's the video. I'll see you guys.